podcast. Myself, Sammy, with my boy, very, very anxious Anthony all day today. What's up, buddy?
Let me tell you, anxious for the last 2 days. Sam, we always get these rumors going on Twitter and X and all that shit, and we just listen, and they never come true for the Montreal Canadiens. And finally, a big trade rumor came to life today. We'll talk about it soon.
We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
Wow.
But this is what a crazy 24 hours it's been for the city of Montreal and its fan base. But let's get this started. Thank you so much for tuning in. A brand new episode of the Curfew Boys podcast live on YouTube. If you're joining us here, thank you so much. We're also live on Twitter, also known as X. Please like and subscribe if you love what you see from me and Anthony and throughout this entire draft that we're going to be looking at and covering as the picks go on. Like and subscribe. It is our way of feeling the love. It is absolutely free. You can follow the Curfew Boys on other social media platforms such as Instagram. We're very active on Instagram, Twitter, also known as X. We're on TikTok. We're on Facebook. All of our episodes available, not just on YouTube, but in audio formats like Apple Podcasts and Spotify. This live episode is brought to you and sponsored by Habs Cave. Guys, Habs fans out there, you must know by now Sunil from Habs Cave. He's got the dream man cave for all Habs fans out there. He's an awesome guy. He's very, very active within the community and within the Montreal Canadiens fan base. Give Habs Cave a follow on Instagram if you want to see amazing content regarding Montreal Canadiens memorabilia that has covered every single every Gyps wall in his basement. Go to Habs Cave on Instagram and give him a follow. And last but not least, this episode is also sponsored by Mike's Barbecue Rub. My buddy Mike in RDP has his own special barbecue spice rub. It is barbecue season. It's a bit rainy tonight in Montreal, but the weather's getting there. It's been hot these last couple of days. It is barbecue season. You can use Mike's Barbecue Rub spices for anything like meat, fish, vegetables, chicken, you got it. If it goes on the grill, you want to use Mike's Barbecue Spice Rum. He also uses that spice for his very own his very own kettle chips that he uses. He's the only one that uses his own barbecue spice to season those chips. They're amazing. Go to mikesbarbecuerub.com for more information. You could also give him a follow on Instagram. And also, folks, when it comes to Mike's Barbecue Rub, don't forget to rub
your meat.
Also, I can tell you for free. Go ahead, Ed.
Wait, what were you about to say?
I mean, speaking of rubbing meats, man, I think the city of Montreal has been very happy all day. All day. I am saying this live. I can't edit this, but listen, I think it's safe to say that Habs fans everywhere are freaking happy. Oh my goodness. And before we get started, man, how are you doing? How's your week going? You're growing a little. I've noticed.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask the listeners out there. What do you guys think?
You're growing a little D'Artagnan stash there, or do we call you Super Mario, Super Anthony? What do we call you?
Mario. No, I need to trim it. I need to fix it up a little bit, but I don't know. It's growing on me.
Okay.
I've never had this before.
It is literally growing on you, yeah.
I need to trim it and clean it up, but I don't know. The wife likes it. I mean,
if she likes it, I mean, there's a more of a reason to keep it.
Exactly. Now she's saying it's a bit too long, but I just wanted to all our listeners out there. Is anybody live? Are we
rate Anthony's mustache live during this episode? 0 for 0 and 1 if just 1 on a score of 10. Don't go.
Just rate me 1 out of 10. Don't I keep it or I get rid of it? Anxious with the stash or no stash?
Rate between 0 and 10, whether you like it or not. So, oh my goodness, the NHL draft is about to begin. We could see it on your screen. I got it on my side laptop over here, and these last 24 hours, dude, I mean, it goes without saying, have been bananas. Like, absolute madness. And before we get into the trade that everyone knows by now, we
If you
gotta,
don't, then you're hiding under a rock.
if you don't, well, it's so funny because on Twitter today, Habs Reddit on Twitter is very, very active on on social media, but especially on Twitter. And he puts out a tweet saying, "I'm flying to Ireland. What the heck is going on?" And it's so funny because like you're so caught up in the news and the trade and the details and everything that me personally, like the Habs Reddit follows us on Instagram and on Twitter. They're actually supporters of our podcast page. And it just dawned on me that I haven't seen a single post from them at all. And then he tweets that saying, "I'm flying to Ireland. What the heck is going on, Habs Nation?" And that's when it explodes, the details of the trade and all that. So that's pretty hilarious. But, you know, before we get to the trade, I need to talk about Jeff Gordon's interview that he had yesterday. Okay, on Friday. Tonight we're on Thursday. So we are Friday, June 27th. It was my day off today. I'm working tomorrow. A couple of things that Jeff Gordon was hinting at, and this goes to show how good of poker players these guys are, saying how, yeah, we like where we are at picks number 16 and 17. But, we looked at options where we're thinking about, maybe trading up to go up in the draft. And then he goes, but you know what? But we also talked about trading down in the draft.
Yeah, so key points. I wrote this down. Okay, so he wrote, quote unquote, looking at everything. They're exploring moving up or down in the draft order, especially given the team's pick at 16-17. But then he said that there were several top 10 prospects that he was interested in if the price was right.
Mm-hmm.
And then what the fuck happened today?
So there was that. And, there were key things about, like it's all about the cost. We don't want to make mistakes. Typical things for not the general manager, but the president of hockey ops to say he's not going to reveal everything, right? But then at some point he's mentions like, yeah, when it comes to trading of players, you look and see the market when a big name moves and everybody starts moving. He goes, usually the big thing he said to me that I took was like, he's like, yeah, there's not that many sellers this year during the draft. Usually, sometimes we know when there are a lot more sellers. It's like, this year, he's like, not so much. So
yeah, he wrote,
so right there, like, you son of a bitch.
Many conversations, but fewer clear sellers in the market. That's what he said. What really pointed me out, what I liked a lot the most, and I think we're all on the same page here, us Curfew Boys, the Curfew Boys, and
the members, yes,
all the members. I mean, considering our whole life following, the Bergevin era and all these other eras that we had before Bergevin, what I really liked of what Gorton said, and this is just makes me feel so good about our future and why we feel so comfortable in the hands of Gorton and Hughes, that fucking beautiful bald head of his. But any decision he makes right now, I'm just so comfortable in it because we trust him, right? But he said this, and this is really key to the future of this organization. We're not going to do anything to stunt that just to move it forward 5%. Like,
that's
like even just that 5%, he's not going to make any stupid moves, and that is just so nice to hear.
There's the thing about this management is not once was there ever making a trade just for the sake of making a trade. Like they did not succumb to that pressure at all. And that's like one of the, I think, the beauty part about this management. Okay. And the key thing about all of this is they said we are not going to jeopardize our future. Okay. That was said practically since day one. And then as the draft, we slowly started approaching the draft. Especially Hughes at the end of that, the end of the season press conference, he's like, there's no way in hell, I'm misquoted, but no way we're giving up our future. Okay. So then you fast forward to yesterday. Jeff Gordon, he says what he has to say. A couple of other keynotes, saying things like he likes that there's Caleb Desnoyers and Justin Carbonneau, especially Justin Carbonneau, that's ranked around the 15th, 16th spot, which the Canadiens had the 16th and the 17th pick. He's like, well, we're not gonna draft the Quebec player just because we're from Quebec, right? He's like, we're not going to succumb to that pressure either, which was fantastic.
Another thing that I really enjoy. So, okay, look, not to get into politics,
no, but it's key though, not to fall to that pressure.
But that's exactly what I'm trying to say. Like, as much as I understand why it's so important in this province that we live in, that the French language is important, fine. Learn how to speak French. Let's leave it at that. Because for the media wise, speak English and French. I get that. I'll always understand why we need that. But to go look for a Quebec player, no, it's not needed. It's not necessary.
If he's available at a draft, he's available at a trade. If they do their homework, yeah, no problem. But if like, let's say Justin Carbonneau was ranked 20th and the Canadiens are picking 14, just shooting random numbers there, they're not going to do that. They're not going to pick him just because he's available. So
that's what I like to hear about this management.
Well, that's exactly that. So just keeping an eye on the Islanders that have the first overall pick, because
are you ahead of me?
Yeah, I'm a little bit ahead of you, which is okay. The clock is starting now for me. They got less than 3 minutes. Yeah, it started. I'm just a couple of seconds ahead of you, but
you guys hear it or?
Oh yeah, I definitely hear it. Yeah, you're gonna have to tone that down. You're gonna have to mute that. It's okay.
Maybe I'll put it on when we hear the announcement.
Sure.
Perfect. Tell me what I want to announce.
So Jeff Gordon says that, and then, dude, it wasn't even an hour later. Sources everywhere on Twitter, like, the Canadiens made a pitch for Noah Dobson. And then you're there like, okay, that's amazing. And then you also hear Columbus Blue Jackets and St. Louis Blues are in the mix for Noah Dobson as well. So part of me, I'm there, I'm like, oh, fuck, okay, like, damn, like, yeah, St. Louis, he'd be good in St. Louis. Like, he'd be good on every team. And I'm there, I'm thinking, like, yeah, does Noah Dobson, if he goes to Columbus, playing with Zach Werenski, okay, well, Columbus has the 14th overall pick. Shit, okay, well, who do they have as prospects? Well, them too, they're not going to try to get rid of it. Like, then the Montreal fan base was there. Okay, who does Montreal have to give up in order to give him? Right away, the first name everybody was throwing out there, Logan Mailloux. And you're there thinking, okay, it makes sense. Logan Mailloux, another right-handed defenseman, offensive, young, excuse me, still like 21, 22 years old, if I remember. Okay, yeah, sure. They're like, okay, well, for sure one of the picks has to go. There's no way that the Canadiens can keep both picks. In my honest opinion, I thought maybe they could have kept one. And then now that we're going to talk about it later, but it actually does make sense. Some people were throwing names out like Michael H.
The pick is in. Hold on.
Yeah, let's go. Let's hear it.
Overall selection in the 2025 NHL Draft, the New York Islanders are proud to select from the Erie Otters,
Matthew Schaefer. Absolutely. That's without a doubt. Without a doubt, Matthew Schaefer, man, he's going to be good for the Islanders. And this is what's shocking me the most, is that, like, how they couldn't get it done with Noah Dobson. I get he was asking for $11 million, but, like, you have Matthew Schaefer and Noah Dobson as your defensemen, as your 1-2 punch. Like, man. So,
I mean, they got rid of him probably knowing that they were getting this guy, but at the same time,
well, I think
that's an Dobson.
I think contract negotiations were a bit of an issue.
And I also heard rumors that he was not happy with Patrick Roy.
Exactly that. I was just about to say, apparently this relationship with Patrick Roy wasn't the greatest. So, so that was yesterday. So the whole night, like, the discussions everywhere, Twitter, like even amongst our followers on Instagram, they're like, well, who do you have to give? A lot of people mentioned Michael Hage. I'm like, there's absolutely no way given the story behind Michael Hage and his father and his family, and being a big fan, a diehard fan, there's no way that Kent Hughes and Jeff Gordon were going to throw Michael Hage into the mix as an offer for Noah Dobson. There was absolutely no way in hell. You look back, and the way like listen, Demidov fell on their lap, but then you look back and you say Logan Mailloux, they were about to pull the trigger, him and that the other pick in the first round to Anaheim for Trevor Zegras. When Montreal did everything they could to get that pick, the 21st overall pick for Michael Hage, that's when they dropped it. They're not trading Logan Mailloux. The way all of that unfolded, there was no way in hell they were going to trade Michael Hage. And then David Rybacker's name goes in. Well, you got to throw in David Rybacker because he's probably an overall better prospect than Logan Mailloux, a 5th overall pick.
And that, I'm not going to lie, though, Sam, I would have been very disappointed. I mean, we'll get to the trade soon, but I'm sure everybody listening to this now knows.
Yeah, no.
But to me, when the name Rybacker came up, kind of scared me, and I don't know if you felt the same way.
I did.
How I looked
pissed.
at it, I would have been pissed because you know why, and not only because during that draft, we all can remember the reaction of Joey when we skipped
Joey just Joey should have left for South Korea right then and there.
But see that. But that's what really worried me, because here we are about to pick Michkov. He's fully available at this moment. Our name is up. Michkov is available, and you go choose Rybacker. And it was a shocker to everybody.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it was a shocker to the Habs community and to all of the NHL. But again, at the time, there was a whole politics situation, whatever. Doesn't matter. He's playing now in the NHL. It kind of still burns us that Michkov wasn't picked, but then again, you can say Demidov wouldn't be here. Anyways, you get my point.
I personally believe that. I'm just saying.
So my point is that here we are missing out on Michkov to get Rybacker. We have yet to see Rybacker play in a Montreal Canadiens jersey, and then you go get rid of him 2 years later. That would have really bothered me.
I do 1,000%.
Really bothered me.
1,000%. I couldn't agree with you more. Just the way, again, it's you look at how they approach these drafts to acquire these players that they truly believe are key pieces to this rebuild, and that's going to help this team contend for not just one playoff run, but multiple. And David Rybacker is one of those defensemen. Guys, I've seen him play a few games in Laval, and I'm telling you, he is not fazed by North American style hockey. He's not fazed by the physicality. He's not fazed by the speed of the game either. And yeah, some people might say, yeah, but the minors and the NHL is very different. Okay, sure. But he's still playing against pros, and he did not look out of place. If anything, he was tossing and turning some of these professional players that are in their mid-20s that have been playing at the pro level in North America for a couple of years now. He did not look out of place. There's a couple of times where, like, yeah, he's got to focus a bit more. Not that he's got to focus, but his game is mostly as a shutdown defenseman. But once in a while, he sneaks up out of nowhere on the odd man rush and creates scoring chances. He's got a heck of a shot, too. We all love Logan Mailloux's shot, but David Rybacker's got a shot, too. I would have been pissed. If you were to ask me right now, let's say you have to send one of these prospects, either Logan Mailloux or David Rybacker, which one would you be okay with? Which one would you be pissed about? I would have been pissed if they did send David Rybacker, the 5th overall pick. So I would have been, and let me say, I really like Logan Mailloux. I really think he's got an offensive flair that's very good. He's no Cale Makar or Erik Karlsson, especially Erik Karlsson in his prime, but he has that offensive capability, and if he wants to, he can be physical. Of course, his defensive game has to be better. There's no doubt about it. But if they would have given David Rybacker, I would have been upset, man, just like you.
And also, I mean, look, yes, to answer that question, Rybacker or Mailloux, we would have said Mailloux, right? For sure. Mm-hmm. But a part of me would have been a little bit sad that Mayu was gone, because projection wise, this guy is supposed to be
the top 4 at least. Yeah.
a top 4 player, an amazing guy, especially his story too, with that whole situation that happened, giving him another
He
chance.
he turned everything around.
So
yeah.
it'd be a beautiful story to see him in a Bleu Blanc Rouge. That being said, here we are freaking out that who. Okay, so let's get to that trade. Here I am looking at the announcement this afternoon when it finally came true, right? Like I said at the beginning of this conversation, we're so used to seeing a bunch of rumors in the Montreal community on X for the last 4 or 5 years, and it never comes fucking true, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't really put my hopes up yesterday when you guys were all talking. Oh, guys, big rumors here. Dobson, this. I'm like, yeah, whatever. If it happens, I'll believe it when I see it. And when this came to life, I was lost of words. Like, I was freaking out. But they weren't telling us who the picks were. Like,
not yet. It's true, because the trade was announced, but
nothing was.
The trade and the extension, but the details of it were not mentioned yet. And yeah, keep going.
So then, like, we're on X, you were seeing rumors like, oh, it's Mayu for a pick, and then there was another rumor, it was Reinbacher for the pick. Rumors everywhere. And then I get a message from a friend of mine saying it's Heineman and 2 draft picks.
Yeah, dude.
I look at this and I start laughing. I'm like, you're an idiot for believing this. I'm not even joking. I literally wrote, you are an idiot for believing if this is true. No, TSN announced it. You are an idiot if you believe that Islanders will trade Dobson for 2 picks and Heineman. Come on, go fuck yourself.
Well,
and then when it came out, I literally, I swear to you guys, I'm gonna say this live, and we said this many times. Zook said it, you said it.
Just watch your language.
Now it's my turn to say it.
Yeah, okay? Go for it.
Ken Hughes, if your bald head was right here,
oh my God,
lick it and kiss it. I swear to you, I'm sorry, guys.
That's not so bad.
But I would lick it and kiss it. You are a fucking genius.
That's not so bad. So can we thank the Calgary Flames for this?
We can.
Can Kent Hughes?
They going to the fucking wire? They don't know what they're doing yet.
Well, dude, picks number 2,
2, 3, 4, 5. You should be easy.
Yeah, if they pick, I think they're gonna pick Michael Misa. I wouldn't put the volume up, Ant, just in case we get copyright.
Oh yes, didn't think of that.
I'm expecting San Jose to pick Michael Misa, and if they do, man, Macklin Celebrini and Michael Misa, and even Will Smith and Sam Dickinson. San Jose is going to be good. Honestly, though, I really think San Jose would have loved to pick Schaefer, because you had Macklin Celebrini, Will Smith up front as your centerman, and then you have Sam Dickinson and Matthew Schaefer on defense. They would have been doing almost more or less the same thing, kind of like the Chicago Blackhawks. They had their two forwards that are considered their core forwards, and then you have your 2 defensemen that are pretty solid, that you solidify toward around them. I think they would have gone the same direction. However, you throw in Michael Misa into the San Jose Sharks, and fuck, you have a solid top 3 right then and there. So it'd be curious to see that. Looks like San Jose. It's so weird that it's decentralized. That all the
I don't like it.
Yeah, I like seeing the general managers there, and like even Jeff Gordon said, he's like, I prefer the other way, the original way, maybe because I don't like change and whatnot. But yeah, it's a bit weird.
So let's just go back to our trade for while we're waiting.
Go.
I do not understand what is going on here. I mean, they're past the clock. But anyways,
it's been 0 seconds for 20 seconds now.
So let's just go back. I mean, we just picked up a 25-year-old getting into his prime years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right-hand defenseman, something that we've been lacking.
We needed. Oh my God. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Putting up 70 points 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Right. Last year, I think it was
56. 20. Yeah. In 2023, 2024, in 79 games, he had 70 points, 10 goals, 60 assists at a plus 12, 24 points on the power play, only 1 power play goal. That's That's okay. He had one shorthanded goal, and he was averaging 24 minutes and 31 seconds of ice time.
Again, he still has a lot to learn and a lot to grow, and already putting up points like that.
Yeah.
Put him with oh my god, I'm just the future is just
So let's remind our audience that this year in 71 games, I mean, still 71 games. Like you kind of you hope there's not too much of an injury issue. It doesn't seem that way. Like, I mean, it's a long season, right? It's going to get even longer by 2 games.
All right, the pick is in.
According to the new CBA.
Pick is in, but I don't want. Hold on.
There's a. I think they're having a they're having a wrestler announce. They're having a wrestler announce the pick. Did you hear who's going to be announcing the picks for Anaheim?
No.
Yeah, Charlie Conway and Connie from the Mighty Ducks movies. Yeah.
That's amazing. I still want that fucking jersey in my house,
dude. That they need to bring back that jersey. I don't care if they're called the Anaheim Ducks. You got to bring back that jersey. That was like was a Paul Kariya, Teemu Selanne days. I still remember
watching that Stanley Cup Finals with you and the Devils.
Oh yeah! Oh my God! I remember. Oh yeah! I remember. I remember that too. I remember. Dude, when Scott Stevens just knocked out Paul Kariya, comes, and I'm a massive Scott Stevens fan. I know I'm going to piss off a lot of people, and I think the pick is coming in. I think she's going to announce it.
I'm not putting the volume on just in case.
Yeah. No, it's okay. Yeah, it's exactly there. It is. Michael Misa.
Oh,
yeah. Wow.
San Jose is going to be a team to watch.
Oh my God! Thank God they're in the West, though. Thank God they're in the West, because like,
I mean, San Jose has always been our kryptonite until 2 years ago, right, when we finally won.
Yeah. Oh my God.
But anyways,
it's so funny. Like, you think of San Jose real quick, like the Craig Rivet trade that led all the way up to acquiring Nick Suzuki, because that's how we got Max Pacioretty, traded for Nick Suzuki. A Bergevin move, by the way. Just saying.
I mean, Bergevin didn't do that many bad things. I mean, he's brought. Anyways, let's not get into that shit. Yeah. Fuck Bergevin. But
oh, come on.
Your plan. Fuck you. Sorry, I said that out loud. No, but seriously, back to our trade. I mean, look, to all our listeners out there, to all our Habs fans out there, let that sink in. Right-hand defenseman, 25 years old, putting up 70 points. We got him for Heineman. And
30
first-round picks.
Yeah, 39 points. Yeah, 39 points this past season, 71 games. Again, 10 goals and 29 assists. A bit of not a downgrade, but like a not as productive. But the Islanders this year, they were not a good team. That was just not. It wasn't clicking for them all year round, and even trying to get Patrick Waugh, like I don't think he was able to salvage that. So. What this trade does is you go from. It's not that you go from David Savard to this, but you lose a veteran like David Savard, you lose a lot of block shots. So now we're there wondering, okay, well, who's going to replace him or who's going to take that spot? We're all there saying Logan Mailloux, it's his time to shine. Come training camp. David Reinbacher, you're hoping that he has a good camp, but maybe another half a season in the minors just to really, season up a little bit more. But let's be honest here. The one position that everybody was hoping to find a player for was the second line center.
I don't think it's over yet. Sam.
I don't think it's over either, dude. But I think the big splash that we wanted to see like this was at second line center. Now, when I'm saying this, there's nobody that's upset about this trade.
Sam, I'm going to cut you off for 30 seconds because I have a friend watching live, and I just want him to hear this, okay?
Yeah.
The Leafs suck, and I just have to say, because he has to go, the Leafs suck. They will never win again. Just had to say that out loud. I do have a bet with him.
Mitch Marner's a Montreal Canadiens. Just tell him that.
That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen.
But just have him. If he's listening now, just picture Mitch Marner in a Montreal Canadiens.
He doesn't care. I don't think any Leafs fans care about Mitch Marner anymore. They really don't care.
They. You know what?
But if Mitch Marner raises the Stanley Cup next year, then
Oh, I'll
that's
be
when it's
so
gonna
happy. I'll be so
burn.
happy for him.
It's gonna
I actually will.
burn.
You know, we talk about Quebec putting pressure on Quebec-born players in this city and on this team. Toronto's worse. They just exiled their homeboy guy, Mitch Marner from Toronto, who dreamt of playing for the Leafs, which he did, lifting a stand. They exiled him. And now watch, he's gonna win. He's like Toronto's worse. He's gonna win. He's gonna win a Stanley Cup.
He's gonna pull a Patrick Roy 94, 95, where he beats the
Oh
Montreal
my God,
Canadiens.
that would be
Go to the next
beauty.
team
That
and
would
raise it.
be
There is
that
rumors
would
that he
be
might go to
absolutely
Vegas, by
beautiful.
the way. And if he goes to Vegas, that's
Yeah, but Vegas too. Them two like injured their body. Like a couple of guys that their bodies are going to turn to RoboCop because they just can't walk anymore. They just can't. They just can't humanly function anymore. So
yeah, let's get back to
it's still not
second.
over. I still don't know where they're going to go with this second line center situation. And if you think about it even more, it doesn't look like they're going to bring back Christian Dvorak. We have a third line center problem too. Is Jake Evans able to? I don't see Jake Evans being a third line centerman. Is Alex Newhook able to take on that role as a third line centerman?
But Sam, not only that, what bothers me too, what we're missing besides players, because I think we're almost there. Player wise, like names and talent and skill, I think we're pretty much there. Our D is fucking solid now.
It just
solidified
that for another 8 years. And
but what
do you like? Sorry, actually, go say what you're about to say, and then I'll ask you a question.
What bothers me again, it's not over yet. And we in Hughes we trust, in fucking Gorton we trust. It's not. I don't think it's over yet. But like you saw what happened round one with the Montreal Canadiens. And I simply think we did not lose out of skill. Okay. Because on paper and on the ice, I think
not skill. I think it was
size.
It was a bit of puck luck. The size and experience got to us.
So
as dirty as that sounds, but it's the truth.
But as much as we are missing that second line center, which I think is gonna come, what we're really missing is size. Yeah. Now you can say that we have Slafkovsky and whatever. I don't think he's at his prime yet to get that because he has a size, and I think he could be that scary player. You have Anderson, which he can do it all by himself. You saw it in round one. He was the most physical player in our team, and then after game 3, he was just done. Like Wilson just had his number, and he couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
And you have management watching this, and then you're going to watch the Stanley Cup Finals. Edmonton lost because of how dangerous, physical Florida was.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, Florida doesn't have big players.
No,
they don't have, how do you say, they don't have enforcers. They just have talented players who
in
have
your face.
Size.
In your face hockey is how they play.
Like Slafkovsky that we project that he could be, right? So I think we're missing that because you're with this team right now, you're not winning a round in or even maybe you'll get lucky winning round 1, but as it gets more physical in round 2, round 3, round 4, you need that. We're missing that
1,000%. And for Edmonton, not having Zach Hyman, who was leading the entire playoffs in hits, it didn't help. But they can't use that as an excuse, right? 1,000%. That's why, like, I love Cole Caulfield and I love Lane Hudson. We all do. That's it, though. Like, no more. We cannot have guys under 5'9" anymore on this team. Like, even 5'10" is a bit short for me. So Noah Dobson, 6'4", he's a big kid. Is he physical? No, but at the same time, too, you don't want him. He's not a guy that could be pushed around that easily. He does need to be better defensively, especially in not in the defensive zone, but like where the hash mark is and behind the net. It's usually those one-on-one battles that he's got to be better at. Jeremy Roenick announcing the pick for Chicago. That's pretty cool. So that's the issue. My question is, and this was the concern for a lot of Habs fans, they loved the trade. They loved how we got him. Some people were a bit scared about the contract extension. At 8 years, for 8 years at 9.5 million AAV. So 9.5 all 8 years. No signing bonus, no performance bonus, none of this getting paid 11 one year, 10 another year, then dropping. It's 9.5 from start to finish, from year one of his contract all the way to the end. And a lot of people were like a bit concerned about that. Anton Frundell. Sorry, I'm ahead of you. Chicago picks Anton Frundell, the centerman. Wow. Okay. That's a good pick. You know what this pick reminds me of? So you have Connor Bedard, centerman number 1. Anton Frundell, centerman number 2. This is a bit like Florida. Barkov, your centerman number 1, and Anton. I'm gonna get mixed up. Anton Lundell, who I hope the Canadiens go get, because now you have Sam Bennett, who's there too. Sam Bennett got the extension, 8 years at $8 million. Oh my God, Florida is stacked. But now we'll see what happens with Marchand and Eric Ekblad. But this is a good pick for Chicago. Another good centerman. So that's congratulations to Chicago, Anton Frundell. Awesome. That's gonna be an awesome pick for them. So back to the contract. I think we all got to remember that the $9.5 million now, with the cap going up for these next couple of years, is probably the equivalent of, look, I can't do quick math, by the way, but it's a bit the equivalent of maybe like a $6.5 to a $7.5 million contract if the cap wasn't going up. It's the equivalent around that. So that's not so bad. Now, what does Lane Hudson get? What does that do for Lane?
Are you ready to sign him now, or
what? Okay, I'll say now, and I'll tell you why, Anthony. The new CBA, so the NHL and the NHLPA have agreed to a new collective bargaining agreement for another 4 years that starts not this upcoming season, not the 2025-26 season, but the 2027-2028 season. You have to sign Lane Hudson now, and I'll explain why. Amongst the new rules in the new CBA, the max number of years you can re-sign a player on your team is 7 years. And if you were to sign a free agent as of July 1st, the max number of years you could sign him is 6. Okay? So, why do I say yes, the Canadiens need to re-sign Hudson ASAP? I say ASAP, but not so much. It doesn't have to happen right now. Is because they have to sign him before that CBA kicks in. Go get him for as much term as possible. Go get him for 8 years instead of 7. That's my reasoning why, and I think it's safe to say that's the exact same reaction amongst everyone, not just in the Habs management, but within the fan base. What do you pay him now?
Not only that, I mean, you also think about, I mean, look, don't want to bring this up because it's going to hurt us, but it's going to happen eventually. The contract of Price is almost gone.
1 year left.
Get traded.
Yep. 1 year left.
1 year left. It might even be traded. There's rumors that it might get traded to San Jose. I mean, just with Price's contract's gone, it kind of helps us too, right?
Yep.
So I don't think the trade, the contract is that bad. You know what also makes me think that this trade happened? I don't see Matheson staying.
Ooh, that's a general consensus, and like I'm not gonna start the Matheson hate because I know you're not. You're not a Matheson hater, and that I know that of you. But apparently, a couple of hours after the trade was made, and maybe even a couple of hours before we started recording this, there was rumors circulating that Matheson and even Brendan Gallagher, their names were circulating, but Brendan Gallagher has a no movement clause. So he's got to waive it if he were to get traded, and he's not going to do that. I think Brendan Gallagher's going to want to stick around this team as long as possible, especially with the young core they have. He is a leader.
You
I don't
need
care
to
what
keep players like Anderson and Gallagher in this lineup.
I would bring them back for a major hometown discount. They did. The Toronto Maple Leafs did it with John Tavares earlier today.
Yeah, and I think look, to win a Stanley Cup, you need the skill, you need the talent, you need the character, but you also need the experience and the veterans.
You need the
And
veterans, man. It's important.
You need those $3-4 million players on your lineup that's going to help you bring the cup to the end. And look, so, Edmonton had Perry. Okay, whatever, the Perry curse, whatever you want to call it. But you need players like that to help these young, especially our team that's full of young players. I mean, we're not again, Hughes and Gorton is building this team so properly. Like, it's beautiful how they're building it with just a young core that we will look. Okay, I'm going to say this again. We mentioned this many times, but you have a team like Florida. Okay, 3 years in a row in the Stanley Cup Finals. We might see them one more time, but it's going to come to a point where they cannot survive that too long, right? Because players' salary, the players are getting older. They cannot stay in the lineup, right? Like something like Edmonton Perry. I think he has one more year left in his career.
I think he's got a year left in his contract.
But I'm just saying, even age wise, right?
Now, I think he's a free agent. I'm pretty sure he's a free agent.
But then again, it's age wise, right? Now Montreal, let's say we make the Stanley Cup Finals in 2 years, and we win or whatever. You know how amazing it will be long term after that run, where we can safely say we can keep this team for a long time and keep winning. You know what I mean?
That's the goal. The goal is to contend for multiple years.
And he's building a team that way, not like a team where you're overpaying players where they're not going to stay another year. Like, for example, when Carolina won that Stanley Cup that 1 year, or Tampa at the time, not now, but at the time,
the 2004,
you win and then it's over. You're never going to see them in the finals ever again. Why? Because they can't afford the players. Montreal's building a team so at that young part, like we said, right? So you need the veterans. We need the Gallagher. As much as everybody hates the Gallagher contract, I get it. It was a horrible contract, but a player like that on your lineup, you need it. If you want to win, you need it. That's the only reason.
Josh Anderson too, man. He
100% Anderson.
He just proved it. The 2 times that we went to the Stanley Cup playoffs and he was on this team, he was a horse. There was a major difference.
But the thing is, Sam, he can't do it alone.
No, he can't.
You saw that
he can't. Well, you're gonna need. That's when the young guys like Slavkovsky, he's gonna have to use his size. You hope to God if Kirby Dach is healthy and he revives his game and he's actually lives up to his expectations and potential.
Ahead of his schedule now. Is he saying that just to say it, or we don't know? But I know Gorton's giving Dach one more chance.
Yeah, he has 1 year left, and Gordon too. Like Gordon said it at the end of year press conference. He knows he didn't say these words exactly, but he's going to need a big camp. He's got no choice.
Yeah,
he absolutely has no choice. I still think Dach is better at the wing, but if they don't find that second line center, maybe they wait for Michael Hage to be ready. You move Dach at the wing, or maybe you put Dach as a third line center. And maybe if you have to, do you keep Alex Newhook? Do you trade him somewhere but Alex Newhook too? He's in the same age group. So this management has a plan, and they're
following it.
But dude, 1,000%. Now, a lot of people are there saying, like, well, acquiring Noah Dobson puts an end to the rebuild.
No.
Okay. Puts an end.
No, it doesn't put an end to the rebuild, but we just.
Don't mean to interrupt. Homeboy, Caleb Desnoyers, picked 4th overall, and he's going to Utah. Wow. Caleb Desnoyers goes 4th overall. That's a good pick for Utah. That's a really good pick. Oh, Danny Briere in Philly must be pissed. Nashville is pissed too. I think Nashville was hoping that they'd get him at number 5. Oh, Nashville is for sure pissed. Wow, good for him. Caleb Desnoyers, the best Quebec player in this draft. Another centerman. That's going to be good for Utah. That's going to be really good.
Nice.
Wow. Okay, good for them. Dude, Utah too, man. I think they're learning from their mistakes in the days of Arizona. Remember that team? And as the Coyotes. Wow,
Do
good
you
for them.
remember Atlanta Trashers? And there's rumors
Of
that they
course I
might come
remember.
back.
Of course I remember the Atlanta
Why would they
Thrashers.
come?
Dude,
Why would they even want them back?
when Ilya Kovalchuk and Danny Healy were like the best players in the world at that point in 2000, 2001. They were insane.
I don't even know why they wouldn't think of coming back, but
Because, dude, I'm pretty sure there's investors that it's not a Gary Bettman thing. It's investors saying we can make this work, and Gary Bettman has to listen. It's the same investors aren't showing up for Quebec because I don't know why, but anyways.
okay. So what were you saying right before?
Yeah, no, they're building this core, but they finally have adding Noah Dobson. Just it fortifies the core on defense too, because we're talking about the core up front, but Noah Dobson solidifies the core on defense. So now you got Caden Gooley, who's
you have your top six. You have your top six defensively, and you have depth.
Or you mean your top four?
You have your top four, and you have your depth.
So you have Caden Gooley, you have Noah Dobson, you have Lane Hudson, and then eventually David Reinbacher. Okay, I still think you need toughness from Arbor Jackeye. Alexandre Carrier, is he going to stick around? I don't know. Mike Matheson, curious to see what happens to him. And all of this, after this trade happened, and then everyone's like, oh, maybe that's the end for Mike Matheson. He's got 1 year left. I went back to that footage that was released of Kent Hughes talking with Mike Matheson at the Combine. And everyone there was wondering, well, what are they doing? Are they talking about contract extension? Could it be a trade and all that? I'm pretty sure Kent Hughes, I'm willing to bet that Kent Hughes notified him that's like, look, we're trying to acquire this guy. If we get him, maybe this is what's going to happen to you. So, yeah, dude, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with Matheson. All I know is he's just got 1 year left on his contract, and then we'll see what happens. But this is a good thing. This for now, Mike Matheson for now is still a Montreal Canadiens. The good thing about acquiring Noah Dobson, you know what it does for Mike Matheson? It relieves him from having to put up points offensively. Put up points offense. It relieves him from having to produce offensively. Like really, like to be he no longer has to be the guy after Lane Hudson to put up points.
And with Noah Dobson on the lineup, doesn't put that full pressure on Reinbacher if he makes the lineup next year for minutes.
1,000%. But again, I go back to what I said earlier. Acquiring Noah Dobson, they probably thought Reinbacher's not fully ready yet. And maybe they're thinking too, well, maybe Logan Mayou's not our guy just yet either.
And even if he isn't ready, again, the pressure on Reinbacher for next season when you have a player like Noah Dobson in the lineup, it's released, right? Because let's say Noah Dobson wasn't making the lineup, right? It didn't come. Now next year you have Reinbacher's first year as an NHL player. There's a lot of pressure, especially in this media and this market. You know, you're the number of what was it, number 4?
He was number 5, and like the whole thing after the whole not drafting Mishkov and all that. Yeah, of course there's going to be that pressure.
A lot of pressure. But now I think that Noah Dobson releases that stress for him. But again, you just said it before. To answer that question, you had mentioned someone saying that the rebuild is over. It's not that it's over, but I think it just.
I don't know.
I'm not saying okay. So I think we're almost there, and I think this trade just ends the whole defensive side. Because, like I said before, we have our top 4. We have a lot of depth, and we have talented skill in Laval and coming up. So and on the lineup. So I think our defense is done.
I think so too. You actually made a light bulb go out.
Don't touch defense anymore.
They found their core 4 on defense now with Noah Dobson. And I just mentioned the names. It's Caden Gooley, who's signed for 5-6 years extension. Dobson at 8. They're going to re-sign Lane Hudson. There's no doubt. And David Reinbacher still on his entry level contract. There's your 4 guys right there. You still got to keep a veteran, but as the years go by, Dobson becomes that veteran. Caden Gooley and and even Lane Hudson slowly become that veteran. You keep Arbor Jacka, he becomes a veteran. Maybe you go grab one more guy after Alexandre Carrier, another guy on the right to play a bottom six role, penalty kill, kind of like what David Savard was to this team. Hopefully, another Stanley Cup champion, somebody that has experience on that front. But they established their core four now. The core four on defense is done.
Okay, can I ask you a question?
It's done. Yeah.
Now that you just said that our core defense is done, and I think it is, especially with the depth that we have. Okay, so now you have, because to build a team, a Stanley Cup team, you have to have your core players. And you also have to have depth. Enough players that if something happens,
well, you can never have too many defensemen for sure.
So I think defensive wise, all the check marks are clicked. We have size, we have talent, we have youth, we have depth. Done, right? I think we can agree on that.
I think so far on defense, yeah.
Defensive rebuild, Sifini. If you get a second line center and a bit of size up front, do you think our rebuild is over? Because I think that's all missing right now.
Again, like as far, so I think they found pieces to be depth players in the bottom six. I'm talking about your Florian Jacki, your Tyler Thorpe. They signed Jake Evans, so they're going to keep him. Owen Beck, they drafted him. Kent Hughes and Jeff Gordon. He was the first pick in the second round. You know what I mean? Is Michael Hage that guy? Are they looking at Michael Hage? He could be a perfect third line centerman. Maybe. It's maybe. It depends how he develops in Michigan in one more year. The big questions are, Shea Weber is announcing Nashville's pick. Hey, Captain. No way. Shea Weber, what a beauty.
On the golf course too, motherfucker.
Is that the golf? That looks like a golf course, huh? So the big questions, Ant, are what's going to happen with Kirby Dach and Patrick Laine. I think they still have to establish that. For now, 4 out of 6 are solidified. Obviously, Nick Suzuki, Cole Caulfield, obviously Juraj Slafkovský, and now Ivan Demidov. So, in a perfect world, is Patrick Laine there? Is Kirby Dach healthy and playing well there? Yeah, in a perfect world, yes. I don't think we're there just yet. So,
but if you fill up those 2 spots, or if you fill up one of those 2 spots,
yeah,
can you say the rebuild is over?
In a sense,
let's rephrase
yes.
that. A healthy Dach. He comes back next year. He's your first rounder player style that everybody expected. The injury's gone. He's fucking fully healthy. He's our superstar forward.
Well, here's the thing. The way they traded for him is, yes, they wanted him to be part of the core. They traded to get him for that. So it sucks because he hasn't lived up to the expectation just yet. No. His first season with the Canadiens was pretty good. Second one, he got hurt. Third one last year, not so much. After that injury, he gets hurt again. He's got one last chance, but he is supposed to be part of the top 6 core. He is. It's up to him now.
I think it's Rod Crosby. Is that rumor over yet, or it's still up in the air?
I don't know. He still has to waive his no movement clause. Until that happens, Crosby.
Not only that, you heard what Gordon said, that you don't want to make any moves that
are mistakes.
5%.
Well,
Crosby is going to be that 5%. It helps you it brings you that veteran player who's going to put up the points, but
I just don't see it. But now I saw a tweet from Marco D'Amico, who's been killing it as far as sources out there. 50 minutes ago, Canadians still kicking tires on Jordan Kyrou. Damn.
Kyrou is
from St. Louis.
Is he a centerman? Sorry, I don't.
He's a winger.
Oh, Matheson
Canadians.
is. I mean, I don't know if this guy is legit, but I see him a lot on X Hockey Insider with the
Who's
question
this?
mark.
Who's this?
Hockey Insider.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Matheson is very much in play, and the LA Kings and Sabres have made a call.
Mm. I don't know, but so far everyone on Twitter is saying how terrible this the cover, not the coverage, but
Oh,
like
look, it's an hour, and we're only on pick 5. And I thought this was gonna go faster when they're all.
I
at
thought
home.
so too. Thank God we're not there waiting for picks number 15 and
That's
16.
exactly what I just wrote to my friend. My friend just wrote, "This draft is going to go until 2 a.m. Too many handshakes, interviews. It looks like it took almost 1 hour for 4 picks." And I wrote, "Thank God Montreal doesn't have pick
Yeah,
15 and 16."
Brady Martin picked for the Nashville Predators. So the Canadians no longer have their 16th and 17th overall pick, but they still have another 10 picks so far. In round 2, they have 41 and 49. Then round 3, 79th, 81, 82. Round 4, 108, 113. Then round 5, 145. Round 6, 177. And then round 7, pick 209. So they still got 10 picks. So I don't see the Canadians using all of these picks, dude. They're going to do something else, I think, at least. So I'm still trying to wrap my head around how they're going to acquire the second line center, though. I'm giving you my gut feeling at. I think they're going to try to give Kirby Dach one last chance.
But then again, he's saying that, but you see how secret this.
You want to know why I'm giving Kirby Dach one more season, a bit of the benefit of the doubt, because he's going to have Ivan Demidov as his winger probably.
Okay.
Or not to play Marty St. Louis. What if you put Demidov on a line with Nick Suzuki and Caulfield, and you put Slavkovsky with Kirby Dach? The two of them look great together. The two of them a couple of times actually look pretty good together. I don't want Slavkovsky off the first line, but I'm just saying if this is a way to help revive Kirby Dach's career, Charles Barkley, I think, making the selection for Philly. That's funny. Charles Barkley becoming a huge hockey fan. Oh, okay. Interesting.
I'm just checking the list of free agency.
Yeah, free agents right now. It's dude.
Mitch Marner, Sam Bennett just got signed. Tavares just got signed.
You know who's a big name centerman that's a free agent next year? Jack Eichel. Where's Joey when you need him?
Joey when you need him. So the whole Ekblad trade rumor is done. We don't need him because Ekblad was a big rumor coming.
I would have loved to have Ekblad on the Canadians, but him too, a bit of an older guy, still a first overall pick. Injury issues a little bit, but
Brock
you know what?
Is still available, eh?
Brock Besser, yeah, but I don't think he's gonna. Obviously, he's not gonna come. Wow, Philly picked Porter Martone. That's a good pick for Philly. You're going to see a first line one day of Trevor Zegras, Matvei Michkov, and Porter Martone, a right winger.
Would you pick up Ehlers?
No. Too old.
He's 28, yeah.
He is 28. Oh, fuck. I thought he was early.
Free agency, they're all old.
I thought he was older. I mean, he did play in the Quebec League, but Nikolai Ehlers, I don't know. I think
the only person that I would want.
We can't afford anyone. Like, we're gonna have to trade Matheson and that Carey Price contract to make room, because right now we're over $3 million. We're 3.6 above the limit. I know Carey Price's contract, they're gonna put him in LTIR. We're gonna see what the new freaking rules now of the CBA, but I don't know, dude. I don't know how they're going to acquire this second line center. And if it happens later on tonight, while we're no longer live on YouTube, we're going to make another episode talking about it. But yeah, that's nice.
I mean, you're right. I mean, I don't think anything's happening. I mean, this was a big trade for us right now, right?
Yeah.
I don't see anything else happening on July 1st. I mean, there's no one available that's A, affordable, and B, worth wanting. I mean, the only person I would see that I would want, but not gonna happen, is Mitch Marner.
So Georges Larocque tweeted, "I'm hearing there's a very good chance that Crosby will play somewhere else." I love Georges Larocque, but how reliable is he? I love him. I love George. Even
Didn't
if
he
he's
make a rumor last year that fucked up everything?
yeah, he did. He made a rumor that Gallant, the coach, was seen with Kent Hughes and then Marty, I think, or something like Gerard Gallant. It's like no, it's like
Okay,
it's not Gerard Gallant. It's somebody else that looked like him a little bit. It's like no. Oh, poor George took a lot of heat for that, man. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm checking Twitter over and over, and so far, again, top 6 winger Jordan Kyrou, their Pierre LeBrun, and that makes me think, dude. You want to know why I think they're gonna ride with Kirby Dach at center? Remember when Jeff Gordon said sometimes it could be a winger that drives the line?
Repeat the question, sorry.
Remember when Jeff Gordon at the end of the year he said sometimes it's not a centerman that drives a line, but it could be a winger.
But that's
And-
where
and-
the whole speculation of Marner coming here.
Well, it's no, we can't
No.
afford him. But we're all there thinking, oh, well, he's talking about Ivan Demidov. Well, is it fair to put all that pressure on a brand new player, rookie, to carry the second line? So maybe going at a Jordan Kyrou is what they're trying to do, obviously. But then what happens to Patrick Laine? Well, maybe you put him on a third line and only use him on a power play. Maybe that's part of the plan too.
Okay, look. I don't want to get rid of Liney. I know a lot of people hated him last year. Not hated him.
There was a love-hate thing about him, and I don't get it. Like a lot of his goals are the reasons why we made the playoffs. Like people.
I told you this last year, and I said this many times, guys. He's not the Liney we all thought he was a long time ago. Those days are over. But if he can still put up points on your special team, something that we've been lacking for years and years, and you finally look, how exciting was our power play this year for the first time since fucking Surrey?
Well.
I'm sorry,
I wouldn't say Surrey. I'd add in PK Subban and I'd add in Shea Weber with the shot too.
No, but no, yeah,
Okay,
but we didn't have a strong power play back then.
So
it was the Sheldon Surrey days.
Yeah, in 2008 we had the best power play in the league with the Guy Carbonneau as our coach, right? Okay.
Kovalev too, but
yeah, well, that too. So this power play, yes, with Patrick Laine, you anticipate the shot. There's still Cole Caulfield there with his shot. Nick Suzuki was like a masterclass passer. Do you know what Noah Dobson does to this team as well on the special teams?
Our special teams will be beautiful this year.
Okay, so here, this is my. I'll give you my prediction for the special teams lineup. First power play unit, I still think you're gonna have, pending everybody is still on the roster. No trades are made. We start the season with these guys. You still have Nick Suzuki. You still have Cole Caulfield. I still think you need Uri Slafkovsky over there on the first wave. Patrick Laine, and then Lane Hudson. So your 4 forwards and Lane Hudson. Okay. Your second power play unit, I truly believe, and I even forgot about Ivan Demidov too, by the way. So your second power play is going to be probably, I'll say this, but it could change. I think on defense, you could put Mike Matheson there with Noah Dobson with the right-handed shot. And amongst your forwards, you will have an Ivan Demidov, you will have a Kirby Dach, and you might have either an Alex Newhook or Brendan Gallagher. That's not so bad to me.
That's not so bad at all. And I think, my opinion, and we saw this a lot last year at the end, you need to separate Laine and Caulfield. Because there are two weapons on a power play, right? They have that shot at that special spot.
Yeah.
You need to separate the two. Or, because I find when they were together, Caulfield wasn't shining. You know what I mean? Everybody reads Laine. Everybody knows Laine's move.
I do. Oh, and I get what you're saying,
Liney was getting stopped every 2 seconds.
But this is my point, is that if they're covering line A and leaving Caulfield open,
Okay, so yeah, I didn't
leaving
think about it.
Caulfield open on the bumper where he could snipe from there too.
Yes, but the thing is, Caulfield's spot is Liney's spot. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do know what you mean,
So
but there's a good chance here. I'm gonna pull up. I'll pull up the stats here of Caulfield on the power play. I get what you're saying, Ant, but I really think
are picking.
Yeah, I really believe. So Caulfield last year he had he had 17 power play points. And out of 37 goals, he scored 10 of those were on the power play. Now, I need to I have to not playoffs, no. I have to check. I have to find a way to there's a way to get the stats here on James Hagens. Yeah. Of course. Boston player, a Boston guy. Of course. Of course they picked Hagens, Boston. Yeah, that's a good pick from Boston College. That's good. Good for Boston. Small guy, but he's a very good player. James Hayes, he's a very, very good player. Good for him. Good for him. That's a good pick for Boston. Very good pick for Boston. Yeah, okay, no, so I get what you're saying about Caulfield being separated from Liney. I really do.
But I also see your side of things because, yes, you know, when you're focusing on one guy, one is open. And if you separate the two, then you have your two weapons being blocked. But then again, to me, when Caulfield wasn't on his special side, he wasn't performing as much as he should have, right? Like, I think Liney, again, our special teams need to spice things up here and there because as a fan, I'm reading the play. Imagine the NHL when they're studying these plays day in, day out before the game.
Yeah, but you know, they even dude, for years everybody knew where Alex Kovalev was going to go. He still has the most goals in the history of the league. You get, I get what you're saying. I really do. But I still think here. I'm gonna check. When did Patrick Liney come back? It was let's go with December 1st, or was it December 1st? When did he show up? I'll check the stats here from December 1st up till no, not all franchises. Here, I'll find the stats as of when Patrick Liney came back, beginning of December. Cole Caulfield had. Yeah, he only had 3 goals on the power play. So you might be onto something. He had 9 power play points. Only 3 of those points were goals. So he might be onto something. But do you see Cole Caulfield, or like, do you see Patrick Liney going on the second power play unit? Or do you see Cole going there? Like, it's weird to picture that.
True. But then, do you see Demidov playing better with Caulfield or with Liney?
Oh, I think Demidov, whoever he's with, he's gonna make them shine because he's just gonna feed them pucks. Like, they need to, if anything, they need to be ready for a Demidov pass because it's gonna come out of nowhere.
I can't wait to see a full season of Demidov.
So the best example was, what was the power play goal from Uri Slafkovsky in the playoffs?
Yeah, the one that went all around the net.
When Demidov, he deked, went around the net. He wasn't even past the net yet, and he still found Slafkovsky with a backhand pass.
Yeah, I remember
that. Dude, the best example as well, his very first game, how he found Alex Newhook open like that. Makes it deep, goes behind the goal line, finds Newhook out of nowhere. Like, these guys better be ready for these Ivan Demidov passes. If they have their sticks down on the ice and are anticipating a pass coming, a lot more guys are going to score goals than they think. They're going to get a lot more goals than they think because of Ivan Demidov. Whoever Ivan Demidov's line mates are going to be ready for the fucking pass. I'm telling you now, he's going to score a lot of goals. So he's gonna have a lot of assists. So I don't know. I don't know exactly what the power play units are going to be. All I know is that having Noah Dobson, it's so funny because I'm there saying Logan Mailloux could be there on the second unit with that right hand shot. It's Noah Dobson's turn now. I'm so excited, dude.
I'm excited for next year.
I am so stoked, man.
I'm excited, but again, going back to what you said before, it started making me question a few things. Again, unless he pulled a rabbit out of a hat and fucking surprises us all, it's gonna be hard to find that extra forward this year. We might see it next year.
I'm ready and prepared to live with that for this year.
I'm starting to feel now. I know we said it's not over yet, but I feel like maybe this is the lineup we're gonna see come September.
Yeah, but it's not a bad lineup, though.
It's not a bad lineup.
I personally don't. If Kirby Dach is healthy and if Patrick Liney's healthy,
it's not a bad lineup.
It's not, dude. Like it's. I don't think it is. I really don't think it is.
You said something very key there, Sam. Healthy Dach, healthy Liney. I think we're good. Again, I'm not saying the rebuild is over, but a healthy Dach is the player that fits in the core, your top core in the forward side. We're just missing one more. But again, you said it before, we're missing two right now. That's if Dach is not the guy we expect him to be. But if he is, we're just missing one more player to finish the top six.
Okay, so let's have some fun.
Is all the depth guys.
Let's have some fun with this, and then we'll see how we feel if we want to carry on this episode. Let's do our own projected lineups here. So we could obviously start with the first line: Nick Suzuki, Cole Caulfield, Uri Slafkovsky.
Yeah,
we're good with that. We're gonna do this again in future episodes, but for right now that we're thinking the names and who we acquired and all that. Okay,
line 2: Demidov, Dach, and Anderson.
Oh, okay. I have in mind Demidov, Dach, and Patrick Liney for now.
Wait, we forgot about Newhook.
Okay, hold on a sec. Right now, I don't think we don't have a third line center, and I don't mind seeing Newhook play center if it's in the bottom 6 role. So third line, I have Alex Newhook, Brendan Gallagher, and Josh Anderson.
That makes sense.
For now, does it really? I don't know.
But then again,
now here's the problem.
Not going to be a second liner at start.
I'm going to go with yes for now. For now, okay? But now your fourth line. You have Jake Evans at center. What's going on? What are you laughing about?
A friend of mine just wrote on the thing, why is this podcast not in French?
Écoute, là, mon tabarnak.
He's from Toronto. He doesn't understand French.
On peut discuter ça tout en français, si, but for now, we're keeping. When we have French, we're going to have French special guests sometime soon.
I won't be on it. Okay, so
the fourth line, Seattle picks Jake O'Brien. Okay, that's another good pick too. Another good pick. The fourth line, I mean, Yoel Armia is not there. Doesn't seem like he's coming back. And they traded Emil Heineman, and the three of them were good together.
Yeah.
So I'm asking the question here.
What about Dvorak? Do you still see him on the line?
But that's why I say we have a third line problem as well. Do they bring him back? I mean, is bringing Christian Dvorak such a bad idea? If you sign him for 2 years, I'd like $2 million. Is that such a terrible idea? Not a lot of people are going to like this, but is it a bad idea? If you sign him for 2 years, I'd like $2 million. Is it so terrible?
$2 million is not bad.
I don't think it's that bad. If he's going to be third line center, and then you have Gallagher on the fourth line with Evans, and you put Newhook on the wing, I don't think it's that bad. I mean, you keep him just for to win key faceoffs and penalty kill, and that's it. Because we don't have it doesn't sound like Yoel Armia is coming back. Maybe is it a bad idea to bring him for a fourth line role? I don't know. I just don't. I think they have to find somebody because
No, they have to. It's not over. Sorry, no, I don't know if it's over this year, but I'm saying we still need to. There's a lot of fixing to do.
There's still free agent day, and maybe they're going to go find a bottom six forward. Maybe they're going to find a bottom six forward to replace Yoel Armia. Maybe they're going to find somebody else to replace Emil Heineman. But you know what I mean? Because are young guys from Laval like Florian Jacki and Luke Tuck ready to play that role? Maybe Luke Tuck. I think Luke Tuck is a lot more physically mature than a Florian Jacki. Luke Tuck on a fourth line would be great. But like a guy like Tyler Thorpe, I don't think he's ready. He hasn't played pro yet.
No.
So there's still, if anything, yes, the future bottom six, the pieces are in place with Florian, Tyler Thorpe,
but
maybe
not the
Luke
current.
Tuck.
Yeah. Not the current.
You know what I mean? Like we just discovered something new here. Like this team's not done yet.
No, I think you're right. I think you said it perfectly right now. The future bottom six is ready, but not current, unless, like you said, they do something. Time will tell. I mean, I don't see any more moves after this. I think this was a big one, unless they surprise us.
We just need to recap what this whole trade, how it all started. So, we talk a bit about the Florida Panthers are your Stanley Cup champions, okay? The Florida Panthers had Emil Heineman. They traded him to Calgary for the Conn Smythe winner, Sam Bennett. Okay? I don't know. I forgot what else is in there, but I'm just going off the top of my head. So Florida trades Emil Heineman to Calgary for Sam Bennett. Sam Bennett and the Panthers win the Cup back-to-back. Sam Bennett wins the Conn Smythe Trophy this year. The Canadiens trade Tyler Toffoli to Calgary for Emil Heineman, right? Right. The Canadiens get Sean Monahan and a first-round pick. Okay? That first-round pick, and then they traded Sean Monahan to the Winnipeg Jets for a pick. That pick, they traded that pick to go get Michael Hage, okay? So, but that pick that Calgary gave us, that conditional pick, it was top 10 protected, and it was in between Calgary and Florida. And Calgary finished Florida finished better than Calgary, so we had to pick the better pick. So we picked Calgary's. It wasn't top 10 protected. And then we had our own at 17. And we used those two picks with Emil Heineman for Noah Dobson. Like, the trade tree is insane when you think about it. And I remember where I was when I saw one of Sean Monahan, Tyler Toffoli's last games with the Montreal Canadiens. And he had a crazy game against the Calgary Flames to top it all off.
Yeah.
So
I really like Toffoli though.
I really like Toffoli, and he's gonna have a blast in I'm pretty sure, is he still in San Jose? Oh my God. I'm pretty sure he's still in San Jose. Yeah, he was. He was with Celebrini's birthday. Here, let's just go make sure. Yeah, Tyler Toffoli. Yeah, he's still there. $6 million, 3 years left on his contract. Yeah, Tyler Toffoli is gonna have fun mentoring these guys, man. Good for San Jose, dude. San Jose is gonna be a sick team, but we need to thank the Calgary Flames. Calgary, thank you. This has been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure doing business with you guys. That is just absolutely insane. Wow. What a splash, though, huh?
Honestly,
what a splash.
Look, for the first time, things are getting excited for this management, man, for this thing. Like I started this episode like that. We've always been in the, all these rumors of all these players coming here, and finally players want to come here. You can finally say that. I think we can say
I think that's what Kent Hughes had the advantage of, was that Noah Dobson says, no, I'd rather go to Montreal than Columbus. He wants to stay in the East, so that puts St. Louis out of the map. And he's like, no, I really want to stay in I really want to go to Montreal. But acquiring Noah Dobson, what do you think Nick Suzuki's thinking? By the way, Noah Dobson and Nick Suzuki played for Team Canada in the World Juniors together back in 2019 or 2019. Yeah. It was the 2019 season. They played together. Okay. So they kind of know each other. So for sure he texted him. Noah Dobson played in the Quebec League, won the Memorial Cup with guess who? Raphael Harvey-Pinard.
Oh, shit.
They won together. They won the Memorial Cup together. And Joel Teasdale, who was once a Montreal Canadiens prospect and a Laval Rocket player. So Noah Dobson knows the market. He knows the market. He knows
and he's
what
here
it's
for the
like
long
to
run.
be.
He's here for the long run, and he if all goes well, you know, he's coming to a potential winning team. I mean, 8 years coming to a growing team.
But let me ask you this: like, what do you think Nick Suzuki's thinking? What do you think Cole Caulfield is thinking? What do you think Uri Slafkovsky's thinking? What do you think Lane Hudson, Caden Gooley, and Arbor Jacki are thinking?
The rest of the league is thinking where this team is fucking going and who wants to come here.
Dude, like when you have a bunch of ex-players on Twitter saying, "Oh my God, this Montreal Canadiens team just got a lot more exciting."
Fuck, if I was McDavid, I'd say, fuck Edmonton, let me go to Montreal. They're gonna win it soon.
Well, can you imagine?
You stop there, like maybe.
I had the wires disconnected because I had to think. Can you imagine?
But look, no, I'll joke aside.
Could you imagine? Are you kidding? You think that's the goal? Can you imagine we're trying to go get Connor McDavid at the end of next season, and if we don't get him, we'll go get Jack Eichel instead, who was the number 2 overall pick after Connor McDavid?
Okay, just think about it, Sam. Think about it.
And I am thinking about it. This is why I'm freaking out.
I'm not talking stupid here.
No, for once.
But think about it. These players that want to come here now, the management is opening up something that people are looking at like, shit, like we're on the map. So someone like McDavid was fed up of being in Edmonton. I'm sorry, but he is.
You think he's fed up?
I don't see him winning in Edmonton. I don't see him winning in Edmonton. I don't see it. I'm sorry, but I do not see him in Edmonton winning. Now, a player like that, I'm not saying he's coming here, guys, not being crazy, but a player like him who's maybe thinking about leaving and he's looking around the league, okay, where do I want to go? I want to go to a team that is going to contend and win for a really, really long time. Montreal's on the map, guys. Montreal is on the map. Now, does Edmonton want to go back to another Canadian market? I don't know. Does he want to go to Toronto's hometown? I don't know. But any player who wants to win,
he's going to fetch so much money, though, wherever he goes.
100%, unless you know, be a Tom Brady and you take a cut and go to a team that's going to make you win more than one championship.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it, man. Like McDavid, like I get money is important for these players and they want a future and be safe for
how you know what, Ant? We could speculate all we want, but it's fun to talk about this. Hey, Big Pizza Pie, how's it going? So let's say it doesn't work out with Patrick Laine here, but you're able to land a centerman. But I'm throwing scenarios here just out there. Let's say Patrick Laine, they're like, okay, thanks for trying. Like, we appreciate what you've done. But like Kirby Dach, you're actually looking pretty good. You're probably better on the wing. With Carey Price money gone, with Patrick Laine money gone, and then 2 years after that, you have just the Gallagher and Anderson contract. With the Mike Matheson money gone, if he does get traded, maybe you could use that money to afford a Connor McDavid or even a Jack Eichel if it doesn't work. So here's my thing. If we were to compare, obviously we would kill for a Connor McDavid on the Montreal Canadiens, but Jack Eichel would not be a bad idea either. He already won his cup. And if he sees that Vegas, their window is closing because too many injuries, we got to start rebuilding again. They're trading pieces. Like if Alex Pietrangelo keeps getting injured, if Mark Stone keeps getting injured, you know what I mean? They try to trade what's his name? Oh my God, the big centerman that they were trying to trade because they wanted to land Mitch Marner. what's his what's his freaking face? Oh my god, Thomas Hurdle. They're almost trading him. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. Like they're getting older. This team. Like listen, granted, they did it an extremely great way. They won their cup. I wouldn't mind offering Jack Eichel like $9 million for a couple of more years to be like, hey, listen, you can mentor these guys. You're not that much older. Like you could still play.
How old is Jack Eichel now?
He's 28 years old. He's gonna be 29, but you could still be like a veteran guy. You could play second line minutes. You don't have to be the go-to guy, but you could bring the experience, especially after winning the cup. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if they pitch him. I wouldn't be surprised if they offer that. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, hold on, where's the stats here? Yeah, he's still putting up 94 points. Fuck.
All right. No,
Yeah.
he's still good, and it would make Joey jizz all over.
That's crazy. And he's 6'2", 200 pounds.
He's still big, dude. He's still Jack. A second overall pick doesn't just suddenly drop and lose talent like that. So I'm just saying. It looks like you're getting visitors.
Yeah, I hear if to all the listeners out there, I'm sorry if it's getting loud in the back, but I'm hearing a lot of people screaming upstairs. So I think it's my cue to go.
This was fun. And listen, an hour and a half, like pick number 10, we would still have to wait another hour and a half for picks number 16 and 17. Look, to all our viewers and our listeners, we appreciate it from the bottom of our hearts of tuning in. If anything else happens regarding the Montreal Canadiens,
jump back on.
We will either we jump back on, or we're definitely going to be back for another episode talking about these new moves made by the Canadiens. But for now, man, let us know your thoughts on the trade. Noah Dobson is a Montreal Canadiens in exchange for Emil Heineman, picks number 16 and 17. Man, are we ever excited? And if you have any last words, now's the time.
The future is bright. Rate my stash. We'll be back for the July 1st podcast for free agency. We're probably gonna have an episode for you guys.
We're definitely. You never know, man. You never know what the Canadiens might do. And listen, what other teams are gonna do. Where's Mitch Marner gonna go? If you guys want to place friendly bets, or if we bet $100 where he's gonna go,
I'm in.
don't do that. All right, man. Well, listen, a big thank you to our sponsors, Habs Cave and Mike's Barbecue Rub. Please give them a follow and give them some love on Instagram. Thank you to all of our audience for tuning in live on YouTube. Please click like and subscribe. It's absolutely free. Share it with your friends. It's the only way we can feel the love. All of our episodes are available audio format on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Follow the Curfew Boys on other social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok. If you got any questions, any comments at all, give us a shout. We are very active as far as the messages are concerned. Ant, really, really love doing this with you, buddy. This was awesome.
This was an awesome episode.
Hopefully the draft next year is a little bit better, I guess, in the sense. Anaheim is picking. Go see the Mighty Ducks characters. They're getting on stage. They're Charlie Conway and Connie. Forgot her last name in the movie. But anyways,
Connie.
Connie. Charlie Conway. Yeah, it's good. The captaincy. Okay, there he is. She's actually hot now, Connie. Damn. Okay.
Oh, check it out.
All right, ads. Thank you. Right. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. We greatly appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of the draft. Round 2 is tomorrow. We'll see what the Canadiens do with the other 10 picks they have. Until then,
bye now.
Good night.
Dynasty.